You know when it's a boiling hot summer day and suddenly your refrigerator just quits? Or maybe your energy bill absolutely skyrockets for no obvious reason. Well, it might not actually be a broken part. In fact, your fridge might be working exactly as it was designed to. Welcome to this explainer. Today we're decoding a hidden string of letters and numbers printed on almost every single cooling appliance you own. It's a secret code that basically explains everything.
Here's a quick look at our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start with the hidden appliance code, move into decoding domestic letter classes, then decoding commercial number classes. After that, we'll look at the cost of choosing wrong, the under-the-hood differences, and finally, finding your perfect match. Let's dive right in.
All right, Part 1, the hidden appliance code.
So what exactly is this secret code? Well, we are talking about something called a climate class. And honestly, this is arguably the most absolutely crucial yet totally ignored spec on your equipment. A climate class is a specific rating assigned to refrigeration and cooling units that defines the exact ambient temperature and relative humidity range the machine is actually designed to operate in reliably. And look, this isn't just a polite suggestion from the manufacturer. It's a rigorous international standard. These units are put into specialized climatic chambers to simulate extreme environments. Think of it like this. You wouldn't wear a heavy winter parka in the middle of the Sahara Desert, right? Well, your fridge shouldn't be forced to either.
Moving on to Section 2, decoding domestic letter classes.
When you look at the IEC standards, that's the International Electrotechnical Commission, it's actually kind of amazing how specifically they break this down. For household units, you'll generally see four main letters. SN stands for extended temperate, which is built for cooler spaces like a cellar, operating between 10 to 32 degrees Celsius. N is for normal or temperate, covering 16 to 32 degrees. ST is subtropical, pushing up to 38 degrees. And finally, T stands for tropical, designed to handle extreme heat up to 43 degrees Celsius. Manufacturers will even combine these. For example, an SNT rating means the unit covers the whole shebang, from 10 all the way up to 43 degrees.
To really put this into perspective, think about a Class N, or normal fridge. If you stick that out in a hot garage that gets over 32 degrees Celsius, it literally starts losing its cooling capacity. It just can't keep up. But a Class T, a tropical fridge, that thing is specifically engineered to thrive in sweltering heat up to 43 degrees. It keeps your food perfectly safe while the standard fridge just gives up. But what if you aren't just storing household groceries? What if you're running a restaurant or a grocery store?
That brings us to Section 3, decoding commercial number classes.
Over in the commercial world, they swap out the letters for numbers. Class 3 handles up to 25 degrees Celsius, which is perfect for cool storage and temperate back-of-house areas. Class 4? That's your heavy-hitting industry baseline for most busy kitchens and retail spaces, tested at 30 degrees and 55% relative humidity. But if you're running a blisteringly hot bakery with ovens blasting all day, or maybe a cramped kitchen with poor ventilation, you absolutely need a Class 5. Those are the absolute workhorses, designed to survive punishing ambient temperatures up to 40 degrees.
Just as a quick side note, these codes apply way beyond just food storage. Air conditioners use their own ratings, T1 for temperate climates and T2 for colder regions. Commercial beverage coolers use a CC rating system. A CC1 cooler is tested for 25 degrees Celsius at 60% humidity, but a CC3 unit, that thing is pushed to the limit at over 40 degrees and a massive 75% relative humidity, dealing with all that intense water vapor in the air. So you might be wondering, what happens if we just completely ignore all these ratings?
Well, that takes us to Section 4, the cost of choosing wrong.
Look, this isn't just about passing some arbitrary technical inspection. It is about protecting your wallet and your health. When you force a fridge to work outside its intended climate class, the poor thing has to run its compressor constantly. Your energy consumption skyrockets, so you can wave goodbye to low utility bills. Even worse, it leads to unsafe internal temperatures, which means rapid bacterial growth and massive food spoilage. It puts a huge strain on internal parts, pretty much guarantees premature breakdowns, and drastically shortens the lifespan of your equipment.
In fact, listen to this warning right from our sources. Keeping it in the wrong environment will place strain on the internal components, leading to breakdowns. Manufacturers won't repair broken fridge freezers that are kept in temperature ranges outside of their climate class. Yep, you heard that right. Ignoring this hidden code essentially voids your safety net. If your standard Class N fridge dies out in your 40-degree summer garage, you are 100% on the hook for buying a new one.
Section 5, under-the-hood differences. So what are you actually paying for when you upgrade to a higher climate class?
Well, adapting a standard unit to a high climate class takes some serious engineering. It's basically like outfitting your appliance with armor against the heat. Manufacturers are packing in significantly thicker insulation just to lock in the cold. They drop in heavy-duty, high-powered compressors to fight the extreme thermal load, and they enlarge the condensers with extra heat emission fans to bleed off the excess heat. You also get upgraded fin blade evaporators for faster cooling and specialized low-E glass doors to block ambient heat. It's a completely different machine.
And finally, Section 6. Finding your perfect match.
Now that you know the stakes, here is how you actually check your own equipment today. First, you have to figure out the peak ambient temperature of the room, not the average, but the absolute hottest it gets during a summer afternoon or a crazy dinner service. Second, go find the rating plate. It's usually a little silver or white sticker located right inside the fridge door or stamped on the back. Third, look for those letters, like SNNT or numbers like Class 4. You can also check the energy label or your manual under installation location. Finally, just make sure that rating perfectly matches the peak temperature of your space.
Which leaves us with one really urgent question for you. Go take a look in your kitchen, your garage, or your restaurant's back of house. What climate class is keeping your food safe right now? Unlocking that hidden code might just save your next batch of groceries, slash your energy bill, and add years to your appliance's life. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep staying curious.